Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, GeoVan, and I could go on for a long time. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. This is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye or Kardashian or Davidson talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests to that end. And now I even have co-hosts to that end. And today is her official debut as my every other Monday broadcaster, co-host. And I'm going to introduce her and bring her on to the studio. Her name is Colette Tracy. And let's bring her on. Colette, hold on. Don't say anything. I'm going to give you she's a professor, author, coach, and social entrepreneur. Her book, Both Sides Now, has been developed into a course taught at Duke University, Carnegie Mellon, and American University. Please welcome to the studio, Professor Colette Tracy. And welcome, Colette.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. I'm sorry.
Thank you. And you may recognize her. She has been on the show before, and I invited her to be a regular co-host. We're going to start this series called Seniors and Sensuality, but we will talk about a variety of topics. But just to give you more than just a formal introduction, I thought I would ask you my regular question of some of my guests and certainly my co-hosts. I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. Mm-hmm. And when you call me, it says, "Who are you? And what do you want?" So who are you, Colette? And what do you want?
Oh, wow. Who am I? Well, I'm a mom. I'm a wife, I'm a sister, friend, and all the things that really make me up as far as what I do for my work. But I think deeper than just work, I think I'm a person who really wants to, at this stage of my life for sure, give back to the world. I've had, so many blessings, and really want to find ways to be involved. And like yourself, Dr. Marissa, I really want to encourage happiness and joy, especially as we age, because frankly, it gets a little more challenging, right? So, and I love your 88% of the time. So,
thank you so much. Thanks for that. And we're going to continue to try to make sure the audio is going. If anything goes wrong, it'll be my fault, because I was told that this year, because I have a Leo in 5 planets, it's my birthday month, that this is a year of unexpected, abrupt changes. So I've been taking the blame for anything. But we're going to start, as usual, with a short gratitude sandwich, having breakfast with me. This is the way that I slyly ask you to exercise your muscle of positivity and to act on your own behalf, not you in particular, Colette, but all of my listening audience all over the world, because it is so important, especially now, to be positive, and work, because your immunity is connected to your ability to see things in a more positive and less anxious or depressed way. So, having breakfast with me is a way to start that. So, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, Colette, you ready to go? We've got 8 specific gratitudes. This morning, I'm grateful that I had yet another happy birthday sung to me. I had some close friends come to my beach. Life's a beach, and then you live there, pad, and it was a wonderful time biking and caking and jacuzzing and pooling. So I'm grateful for that.
Great.
What are you grateful for?
Well, first of all, happy birthday again. And I am grateful for having another day, right? Waking up and feeling good and being healthy, and given another opportunity to, do my thing and enjoy my life.
Wonderful. I'm grateful that I have, I woke up with this idea to start having some regular co-hosts, and that I was going to make it in a competition, and then I thought, you know what, I can figure out, not leave it to chance. So I'm grateful for you as a co-host today, Colette, starting this series.
Thank you. I am also grateful, Dr. Marissa, for being here and being able to have a platform myself as well for my beliefs that are very similar. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I'm grateful, frankly, for all the opportunities I've been given. And they've been
Beautiful.
a lot.
And I see some eyeballs rolling in, not rolling eyeballs, as in rolling your
Oh boy.
yeah. But if you're tuning in and you're wondering what the topic is today and who my guest / co-host is Colette Tracy, and we are talking about seniors and sensuality. So you'll want to stay, but I'm doing my gratitude sandwich, so you can put your gratitudes in the chat. I am grateful for really yummy mango mousse cake that I absolutely tasted wonderfully yesterday. Go ahead. Oh, and it's from J&J Bakery, although they are not one of my sponsors, but they should be, because they make great cake. All right. And Colette?
All right. I'm grateful for my family, for sure.
Okay, specific? One person?
I would say my kids, Ian.
One.
I can't do just one kid. I can't.
Well, then you have 2 gratitudes left.
Okay.
So remember the rule. Remember the rule. It has to be specific.
Okay. I'm grateful for my son, Ian.
Okay. Perfect. And then now you can give the other one.
Yes. Okay. Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go. I'm grateful for this is my last gratitude. You only have one more. So I'm grateful for 30 years of racing sailboats. I am so fortunate to have picked that up when I was living on the East Coast. And the best part is bringing on kids from places who wouldn't normally get to race sailboats. So I'm part of the crew for the U.S. Sailing Center team that gets to bring in kids from Interval House, Jordan High, NAACP, and teach them how to race sailboats. And so a shout out today to Jordan High, who's going on protest for all the 75 times the recommended toxic metal levels. I just saw that as I got asked to cover that for the news, but I'm doing the show. But I noticed Jordan High. So shout out to all y'all, and I hope something happens. That's my last gratitude. Go ahead.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't know you did that with sailing. That's wonderful. And especially with kids. I think that's great. Yeah, and I will say my oldest, Ryan, very grateful.
Nice. Beautiful. What's something in specific that your kids, one word that you would describe?
I would say authentic.
Okay. Both of them?
Mhm,
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, look at their mom. So that certainly, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. The apple's still in the tree, as I say. Perfect. And that's the top of the bun. The bottom of the bun is appreciation. What do you appreciate about yourself? Some people have difficulty with that, especially if you don't like taking compliments. And it's a habit that's a bad habit, because if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of you? So we have to start inside out job, self-care, self-love starts with appreciating ourselves. So what are 4 things that you appreciate about yourself?
Wow.
Okay, I'll start, give you a little time. I appreciate my sense of humor and how I love making other people laugh. And I got a lot of that. It's my favorite sound in the world.
Okay.
What do you appreciate about yourself?
Well, I will say, as my book says, both sides now, I think through the years, I have learned to be more analytical in the sense of not just looking black and white. I would say, I can take in different perspectives and appreciate them a lot more so too than when I was younger. I think the other thing is my ability to.
Okay, that's one.
Oh, sorry.
I appreciate that I love to write. That one I know you can do too. That I love the feeling of writing and being creative through prose.
You keep coming up with the best ones. Yeah, I would say I think that I'm a good friend, and not just with friends, but I would say with people that are in my life that I choose to have in my life. They are not just my friends; they're my family, and I think I'm a good friend. Yeah.
Beautiful. I am grateful that, or sorry, I appreciate that I'm loving 80% of the time. I'm not even going to give it 88% because it's something I'm working on. There's some people that just for some reason like get on my last nerve, and I'm not sure what that's about. And so I'm trying to work on that, but I am carrying 80% of the time.
Well, I think just to comment on that, that's authentic. I like that you say that because a lot of people, oh yeah. But I think that if you have relationships, you're bound to have ups and downs. But anyway, so what do I appreciate about myself? I appreciate the fact that I can really look at things from many perspectives. And I think I kind of said that with my first one. But really being able to be more creative with life, kind of let my imagination go and express that, which I was never good at that when I was young. I had it all like bottled up.
Yeah. Perfect. Last one. I appreciate that I am an enjoyer of life. I've learned how to most of the time stay in the present moment, which is a gift. Pun on words there, and I think that that's there for a reason. So last appreciation for you?
I'm going to say I'm going to have to steal that, Dr. Marissa.
Okay.
I think it's really good. I think that's really good.
All right, perfect. And there it is, breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Colette, or Professor Colette Tracy. Since I've got the doctor, we'll do Professor, the doctor and the professor instead of Dr. and Marianne. Having breakfast with us. Fantastic. And now we're going to get to a very interesting topic. We've sort of skirted around it. We've talked about the seasoned woman, I think the last time you came on. And then I was talking, I don't even remember, I was in some setting and someone mentioned that there was a place down in Orange County that was known for hookups. Like there's a very active swingers club. And I said, oh, really? Where? And they said it was at a senior center, or not a senior center, but a seniors retirement facility. And I'm like, what? And so I went and I Googled it and I sent it over to Colette and I said, I'm curious. I had no idea that seniors, let's see, seniors and STD, that's how it was given to me. And then all of this stuff came up: sex in the senior population, sexually transmitted diseases in older adults, historic high rates of STIs among older Americans. That's a Forbes. And that in specific to Orange County and LA County, there's actually facilities. One's, I guess, Laguna. I can't find the thing that I sent you. Do you have that in front of you?
You know what? I didn't really look over that one too much, to be honest with you.
That's fine.
I kind of looked at, like the retirement communities.
Yes.
And yeah, it's some of the things that, I found out there were amazing. So it's like 79% of people between 57 and 64 years of age are still sexually active, but 53% who are 65 to 74 years of age are still sexually active.
Okay,
and,
you need to do that again, because I'm going to put it in the chat and post it up, because those are really good statistics. So tell me one more time.
Okay, so this was on A Place for Mom, and 73% of respondents, 57 to 64 years old of age, identify as sexually active.
Okay, 73% of seniors between the ages of what?
57 and 64.
57 and 64. Yes.
Yeah, identify as sexually active.
Identify as sexually active. Okay. And then
53% of respondents who were 65 to 74 of age identified as sexually active.
Okay.
And then 26% of respondents who were 75 to 85 years of age identify as sexually active.
Okay, so the 26% between 65 and 74.
75 and 85. Yeah.
75.
Did you say 26% or 53? Sorry.
26.
Okay, 26 is the older group. Yeah. 75
okay,
to 85.
check the comment, see if I got that right. And this is according to A Place for Mom. Just funny. I saw that title too. It says A Place for Mom, sexually active.
Yeah. Kind of not the way you like to think of mom right off the bat, right?
Yeah. But why not?
Right.
And this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about is there is a belief system that certainly after a certain age that dies off. Is that really true? Is that something that is a BS belief system that keeps us, complacent? Because I know when I coach couples, one of the first questions that I ask is, how often do you have sex? Because it is one of the God-given glues that keeps, relationships working or relationships close, the level of intimacy, certainly through physical attraction and then physical consummation. And I know this might be a little early to be talking about this, but hey, that's what you get when you put me from once a week in the afternoon on Friday to every single morning. But I think it is one of those things that we want to talk about. So that's what we're talking about today. So if you have any questions, comments, or, your 8 cents worth, please do put them in the comment section and we can address those or give our 8 cents opinion to that. So I guess that would be, I'm ageless, so I'm not even going to identify which one of those three I'm in.
Right.
Actually, I'm 92. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you look great for 92.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But so when I first asked you to look at this, what was sort of your top of the head reactions?
Well, this is what I'm going to say about it. I think that the sexually transmitted diseases can be bad, right? And we're talking about assisted living. Okay, when we're talking about assisted living, and people have their sense, they have their faculties. I say that teach them about STDs, and this is what I've researched too. Teach them about STDs, and allow them to make a choice, but don't expect that that's not going to happen, because we talked about this last time I was on the show, Dr. Marissa. It's a natural thing, right? And sometimes beyond menopause, right, there are difficulties for women and men, right? We have different difficulties. Women with hormones that have, maybe it's painful, or for men, ED, but that being put aside and really giving them the medical medicine to help them, be on an even playing level, so to speak, no pun intended. But why not? I think that there's a danger when there's dementia involved, or there's Alzheimer's involved, because then we're talking about consent. Then are those people, are they able to consent? But I think when we're talking about, normal, healthy people, assisted living is not a nursing home or retirement community. It's just, it's a lifestyle for a lot of people. And I think it almost borders on ageism, really, when we think that we shouldn't, that if you can't think of mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, but the thing is that I get that, because we're all like that with our parents and our ancestors, but you know what? Just take a look in the mirror, right? Because time is passing, and don't blink, because you're going to be there before you know it, And I think if people are healthy and, and they want to, and it's consensual, then that there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And pretty much a place for mom kind of said the same thing. Yeah. I mean, that was, where I was mostly getting my information, but I do feel the same way. Yeah.
Interesting. So, well, let's separate out all of the things that we're sort of walking around here. So first, and let me share. Oh, this is not going to work. This is a Forbes article. Actually, it's interesting to share it, so I'm going to try to do that. So we're not making value judgments, in case you've just tuned in and wondering, why we're talking about this. I know that my interest in talking about this is because I want to candidly put the moose on the table and talk about the why is it that, here we go, there's the Forbes article, historic high rates of STIs among older Americans. And this is the Forbes article. They were higher across the U.S. This is the most recent article I've seen on this. More than 115,000 syphilis cases documented in the number of primary and secondary gonorrhea, chlamydia. So these are things that, we saw in college, right? In college, we were we're getting a little bit of an echo here. So let me see if that helps. So yes, it is your mic, Colette. So I would ask you to maybe go and change some of your settings again, so we can eliminate the echo. So, so one is the morality of sex in the retirement community. So you touched a little bit around that. Two is sex and intimacy when you get older, and the preconceived notion that as you get older you have less sex. And I'll bring one of my favorite jokes is George Burns when he turned 90 and was asked, "Do you still have sex?" And he said that would be like shooting pool with a rope. So that's two. Three is, what is the normal expectation or aging process around sex and intimacy? Is it true that, there's a fire in the penthouse? Sorry, there's a chill in that. What is it? The chill in the penthouse, but a fire in the furnace or in the basement. So that there is a pushback against that stereotype that as you get older, you can't have, a passion or lust or any of those things, which the numbers I just am showing you are telling you that that's not true, right? That there are actually ways, and there's actually a very high percentage of people, way more than we think, that are having sex in retirement homes. And I did pull up actually an interesting, let's see if I can find it now. Here we go. Sex in retirement. Oh, that's the place for mom. But I actually put it Laguna, and it had here we go. Can you see that? Laguna Woods, California swingers site. California Swinger Laguna Woods Swingers Club. So this is I'm afraid to click on some of these because I'm not sure what's going to come up, pun intended. But I'm looking for like an LA Times article or something where I know it's not going to be actually pictures, and I can't find it. So we're not going there. I'm half joking, Colette, but I think that the whole I don't think there's a normal here. I think if I look at the positive side of all of this, I am seeing that there is a pushback against, what do you mean as I grow older I'm not supposed to have sex? So your reaction?
Well, I really think, it's funny that you were talking about teens because I see a parallel between teens and people who are midlife or beyond. The thing is, we look at ourselves, we come into, I know for myself, I can speak for myself, since I turned even 40, started to come into my own. Now, I'm in my later 50s, right? And this is the greatest time for me in so many ways. And I talk to other women and they feel like they can do anything at this time, and the confidence and things like that. So why does that have to change? That's a personal opinion of mine. If that's what you want, then why should that have to change? And I think that when people are healthy, it's fine. And sometimes I think as relationships get older, I think you have to find new ways of intimacy, right? I'm just being frank, is that, it's not always going to be exactly, it isn't going to be exactly like it was when we were 30 or 25, right? It's not. But I think it's another thing to really, maybe work on in your relationship, and speak openly about it, And I do think there's an idea, of course, with everything else that, old people, oh my God, but I think that the thing is that you get there more quickly than you ever think that you will. And your opinion changes because you're free now, right? Your kids have grown, if you've had them. You're retired maybe, or on the edge of retirement. Hopefully, financially you're doing fine. So you have all these opportunities that you didn't have 10 or 20 years ago. And people don't lose the idea of wanting to be young. Okay. If they're healthy, and I look at myself and you as people who want to help people who are aging, say, yes, I'm still good. I've still got amazing years left for me.
Yes.
But I do make the parallel between teens And even in my book, I did that because I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think there is a hero.
Absolutely. If you're wondering who I've got and why we're talking about sex this early in the morning, it is the debut of my regular every other Monday co-host, Colette Tracy, here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa and Colette Tracy. We're going to be right back with more on sensuality and seniors here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Want delicious Vietnamese Asian fusion cuisine that is so good for your health you won't believe your taste buds? Olac is a 100% plant-based vegan restaurant founded by Mai on living foods and a love for animals that won't make you sacrifice taste for health. 2 locations to delight you, downtown LA and Fountain Valley. So go to www.olac.com, AULAC, to book your reservation today. Saving the planet has never tasted so good.
Do people drive you crazy? Hi, it's Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here with your mental health minute to help you feel happy 88% of the time. Now, when people drive you crazy, and they will because they are in charge of themselves, you're not the boss of them, then I use this little Happy 88 tool called Everybody Does the very best that they can. And if they could do better, they would, but they can't. And now I have to be the boss of my own emotions and not let it take me down. A lot of us grow up thinking that other people are responsible for our own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And that is not true. We are the boss of our own reactions. And if someone's doing the best that they can, I remember that I also do the best that I can, and I'm not perfect. And sometimes, and although I am 88% fabulous, 12% of the time, I'm not. When I acknowledge that, then I'm much less easily irritated or frustrated with that other person. Hope that helps you. This is Dr. Marissa with your Mental Health Minute, hoping that you have the best day ever.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned back into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa and Colette Tracy here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and my YouTube channel, where you can get all 600 or 760 shows now. Woo. And all my red carpet playlists, interviews with the Temptations, Jimmy. I always get Kimmel and Fallon mixed up, but one of them I have a red carpet soundbite with, as well as Halle Berry, John Travolta, and Quincy Jones, and the beloved, wonderful Lieutenant Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, who just passed. I have 2 interviews with her there. So just free subscribe on that YouTube channel. You'll get an alert every weekday morning that you're about to get splattered with more hope and happiness. And I'm delighted to have my new Monday every other week co-host, Colette Tracy, professor, author of the book Both Sides Now expert in seniors and sensuality. So welcome back to the studio, Colette Tracy. And there's my applause. I should. Whoops. There you go. There you go. Welcome back, Colette. And do you have earphones by any chance? I tried to private chat you, but I don't think you saw the message. If you do, that might help with the echo. So,
okay. Everything's closed for me right now. So, maybe I don't have earphones right now.
Well, we'll do it for next time. It's actually better right now. So I don't know what you did during the break.
I closed everything.
Okay, perfect. Now, I wanted to come back and give some credit. I mentioned this article the last time we talked, and it's called The New Seasoned Woman. It was written by Gail Sheehy in the LA Times, January 8th, 2006. But I still think it's very, very applicable. It's called The New Seasoned Woman. And in the bedroom and beyond, she knows exactly who she is, what a seasoned woman offers, a what the heck, life is short, joie de vivre, emotional stability, financial independence, the ability to talk about anything, your authenticity, no ticking biological clock or toddlers underfoot, a knowledge of what she wants sexually, and the appreciation of a good lover. She wants romance, fun, flirting, finesse, good conversation, mutual sexual pleasure with emotional connection, not to be tied down, men who are not threatened by her accomplishments. Let me say that again. Men who are not threatened by her accomplishments. She wants to go dancing. So I'm sorry. I am definitely a definition of the seasoned woman. And I think it speaks to what you talk about in your book as well, that if we look at the history of where women have come from, we were there to serve man. We were there to be their wives. We were there. There were commercials that even had women, the commercial was that our job was to bring a martini to your husband who came home from a hard day at work with a martini and a good dinner. You were told that your job was to please. And so, yes, we've come a long way, baby. Virginia Slims intended. And we're not afraid to talk about what we want. I think that's it, especially in the bedroom, which is something that definitely when I did the sexual healing with Dr. Marissa series every last week of the month, women, I believe, still are tainted by that former judgment of what we should or should not say, should or should not do. That pleasure is not in our purview. That pleasure is in the realm of what men deserve. And yet we, because I'll be very frank, at the risk of, I live out loud. I remember dating a man years ago. This is well before I was married, when I first became sexually active, and that didn't happen till my 20s. I'm going to be authentic and tell you more than I should. And I went to do something that I knew would bring me pleasure, and he grabbed my hand and said, "Don't do that." And I'll take care of that. And to this day, that has stuck in my mind. And then I even later, after I was happily divorced, I had another encounter where it was just that wham bam. There was no attempt at any foreplay, at any way to loosen me up, so to speak, or grease the wheels, so to speak. I'm doing the morning version of some of the terms that I use, but it's I got a thumbs up on that one. So let's really spend some time allowing women to work with our own process on becoming okay with wanting what we want and being who we are and having what we want.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Well, Dr. Marissa, I think that in a lot of ways, I really, I come back to my relationship with my husband, and I think that, we went together all through our teen years, and of course, for both of us, it was exclusive, as far as intimacy.
Was he your first?
Yeah. Oh,
Was he your first?
only.
First and only. Okay, so right now you are witnessing two completely like the widest spectrum possible of it's still echoing a little. The widest possible spectrum of experiences that we are, one of us is, first and only, married how many years now? It's like, I know it's many years. How many years, Colette?
38.
38.
We married
Hashtag
we married out of high school. We both had Catholic parents, and they were strict in that way. And we wanted to be together. Of course we did. And so that was the way that we chose to do it. We didn't have children for a long time. We worked really hard, but it was great between us. So I will say that I think for me, people can say, Colette, you have a great marriage, you have a great relationship, you're blessed. It's not the same for the rest of us women, but I say it can be, and I don't mean, I'm in no way saying exclusively one person your whole life. And, that's not, and it's not, for me, it's not a spiritual or religious thing. It's just that that's the way it happened. We met very young. He was an amazing guy. I knew that right away. And so we just stayed together. But I didn't want to change anything in that way. So that's what happens with that. You have one person.
How old were you when you met him?
15,
how old were you?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an Elvis story.
Yeah. Well, he's the same age. He's 6 months, so he wasn't the older man.
Okay.
But we dated for 5 years, and then we married at 20. He was just turned 21. And
Okay.
So but Mike is the kind of guy that, and we always say, no disrespect to our parents, but we kind of raised each other, right? We kind of taught each other what we wanted, both of us, I think, and that worked for us. I realize not everyone has that situation, but that being said, it's really that you have to be the person I tell my women friends this all the time. You have to be who you are, and I used to have all my friends say, oh, I don't want my boyfriend to know this. I don't want my boyfriend to know that. And I say, what the heck are you talking about? He has to know. I'm not hiding. I don't think I ever really hid any part of myself from my husband. So I think that's my choice. But that has empowered me tremendously. And we support one another. And he has been very, and still is very, very supportive of my career, and the same for that. But I think that women have to be bold enough to say, this is what I want. Not just in sexuality, but in every aspect of their lives. I think that women have a hard time with that. A lot of them. And, I never realized that, because I came from a really strong mom, and she was tough. And so I just kind of perceived all women to be like, I'm a lot like my mom. I've mellowed a lot. When I was a younger woman, I think people would lovingly refer to me as a hair trigger, but I'm not that anymore. I've mellowed, and having my kids really changed me too. But, I think that I believe, and Dr. Phil said this on the Oprah show and his own show many, many times, is that you teach people how to treat you, and I think that you really do. And I think that for women, and I, like I said, it's surprising, but a lot of women, with our generation feel invisible. They really do. And maybe so, maybe you're not getting a ton of attention or like you used to in the same way. but you are still of value. Okay. And you have to
Mhm.
work on yourself with that to feel that first. Yeah.
Mhm. So I think that senior women, the great thing about this article, it sounds like we are, and I'll say we, even though I'm ageless, that we are getting more comfortable, because even though you say, as a youngster, you and you had a strong mom and the hair trigger was, what you used to be like, it sounds like you always knew sort of what you wanted and were
Yeah.
authentic and strong about it. I am that way professionally, but I have to say personally, I think maybe because of those experiences I had, it took a long time. I haven't dated in a long time. I went on my first date in 5 years, and nice guy. I'm not going out with him again, but the thing that I am going to be interested in, when and if I do become intimate again, can I replicate the confidence that I feel in myself professionally,
Mhm.
personally? And I think a lot of that is tied to how we view our attractiveness. And I think for women, especially as you get older, you have a tendency to think that you're not as attractive. We women already don't think we're as
Yeah.
good looking, thin, or smart as we are. And I talk about having a guy day and the differences between women and men. But as you age, your body gets naturally more gravity-ized. And things
I like that.
scrutiny, and I myself went on this quest. I said, if I'm going to date again, I want to feel good about my body, and I've lost over 25 pounds since February, and yet the saggy's still there. And so, how does a seasoned woman really not care about how their body looks?
Mm, I don't think that ever happens. Also, I want to say, when you mentioned Gail Sheehy, she's amazing. She was amazing. I think she recently passed away, but I read her book Passages and New Passages, both. They're
Oh,
amazing.
I'm so sorry that she passed,
Yeah, I
because I
think
would
it
have
might have been.
loved to have
Yeah,
had her on the show. I had that thought too, but I guess it's too late
yeah.
now.
I think
But
she might have had COVID, but anyway, yeah, she was amazing. I loved her, and like, I was always a big Oprah fan too, and I remember her one time. Oprah had a show about aging women, great aging women or whatever. And she was in her 70s, like mid 70s, and said, "Oh, I'm still." And I think that we, as you're so right, as women, we grow up hating our bodies in a lot of ways. And hate is a strong word, but really never being happy, maybe at once or twice in our lives. So we criticize ourselves for that. And I say, even in my book, that part of it is our culture, right? So, I mean, I think I understand what you're saying about aging and feeling differently about your body. I understand that entirely. And I think that, we can stave that off with plastic surgery, or, of course, exercise and diet and things like that. But it's going to happen, right? Eventually, we're going to age and look our age in some way. So I think what a really seasoned woman needs to do, honestly, Dr. Marissa, is look at herself in a new way. You know what I mean? Make the ideas that we had growing up and midlife and all through, we have to change that if we want to be happy. We have to find new ways of looking at ourselves, and we have to change the rules, right? And that's a hard thing to do. It's ingrained.
Mhm.
It's ingrained in us.
Yes, absolutely. She died at 83,
Yeah,
and fascinating. I'm going to have to read up more.
yeah,
But she did a lot of very pioneering stuff.
yeah,
There's an interview, a picture with her and Gloria Steinem,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
really cool. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Um, Very interesting. So there's the photo with her and Gloria Steinem on a show The
Yeah.
host was Roberta Hammond, CBS. So that was a while ago. Just I love that look.
Yeah. Yeah. She was amazing. And
Yeah.
I loved the way she really loved herself and not in an unhealthy way, and she had, I think she was married very long term to one man, and but that, it didn't change her mind about herself. In fact, it enhanced, because he still thinks I'm wonderful, and things like that. So we have to work with what we have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, anyway, yeah.
She married Clay Felker, the co-founder of New York Magazine. So
Yeah.
that's
She was an
interesting.
amazing lady. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you give? Oh, I got the three. We have 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left. So what would be the one piece of advice that you would give the seniors in sensuality? So one for the man, one for the woman.
I would say the same rules you had for women, let's say for women, that you had when you were a teenager. Always think about your protection, right, first, and always think about what you want. Okay. Respect yourself, right? So don't be giving away anything that maybe you don't want to, or just to please somebody else. That's what I would say. And that was, my mother didn't teach me that way. She didn't say that, but anyway. And then for the men, I think, I think be respectful. I have a couple of really close friends that are divorced now and out in the dating market. And some of them are just very, they're just very vulgar and bold about things. And, and I think that they should, I think men, and I'm not saying all men are like that. I have amazing men in my life. I know some amazing men. But the thing is, be respectful. And it doesn't matter as much when you're kids. Boys don't want to, they don't want to use sexual protection. But I think, and it can be dangerous for older men too. But I think for women, we have to really protect ourselves just the way we did whenever we became first sexually, active. That's my advice.
Great. And mine is, we have 2 minutes. Mine is for senior men. I would say if you want to try something different, if you have been the same way in the way that you've been with women, and sort of taken the whatever your habits are, to try something new, to maybe ask a woman what she prefers or what she really would like. I know that right now I prefer a guy who can, scratch my back every day, just as intimacy, even more so than. Yeah. But if a guy said to me, what do you like, that I would actually feel brave enough to say what I would like sexually. But I still don't feel that comfortable. So that's for men. And for women, use this time safely, as Colette's saying, but as a time to explore, because intimacy, sexuality, sensuality is such a beautiful time, or an important part of your life, and that religion has kind of made it into something dirty and bad. I want not all religion, but I think we grow up with that, that's bad, and somehow sex is bad, and I think that has really hurt us as women in particular. So let's use the aging process as permission to explore that beautiful part of ourselves. And that's it for today's fabulous show. Go to anywhere and get Both Sides Now. That's Colette's book on both sides. And tune in next Monday, in 2 Mondays. Colette will be back with me, and I'm hoping you will have the best day ever. You ready for this? It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.